All right, what's good, y'all? It's your boy Bobby W223 here. This is my review for the new Star Wars: The Force Awakening movie. It's got some Mortal Kombat gameplay playing in the background. Went and saw this movie last Friday. I'm recording this Wednesday night, so happy Merry Christmas Eve and Christmas for everybody. It's actually pretty much midnight right now, so I guess it's almost Christmas Eve. But yeah, so gonna be celebrating Christmas mostly on Christmas Day. Probably chill with the family a little bit later on Christmas Eve, but nothing too crazy. That's why I'm up right now. Still technically Wednesday, but yeah. Anywho, yeah. So Merry Christmas. Out now. Get that out the way. So the new Star Wars movie, Episode 7, The Force Awakens, was a great movie. I'm gonna just say spoiler alert right now. Spoiler alert, because yeah, I'm about to spoil some of the parts in the movie for those that care, those that are watching that don't want any spoilers if you haven't seen it yet. Awesome movie. The new characters were awesome. I believe the one girl's name was Ray. Like I said, it's been almost a week since I've seen it, so I'm a little fuzzy on some of the new characters' names. But Ray, Finn, I believe the black character who was a stormtrooper, and it was funny because I had a hunch whether or not he really was a stormtrooper or not. I thought maybe he was just in disguise, but the way they explained it, they actually take kids around the galaxy and train them at a young age to become a stormtrooper. But he, for some reason, out of everybody else, kind of he rejected being a stormtrooper, and then he went on his first mission to I forget the name of the planet, but they go there and they meet another character. I'm sorry, I forget his name too. He's like a pilot, and he has this droid that's pretty much like the equivalent of R2D2 for this movie. And that pilot, he has a chip that he puts into the droid, and basically it has information as to where Luke Skywalker is. Everybody's trying to find Luke. He basically went into exile after trying to train a new generation of younglings to become a Jedi, because the main villain, it ends up turning to the dark side, and Luke feels like he betrayed him and that he failed as a like a leader, basically. So goes into exile. They're trying to find him because he's supposed to be the last of the remaining Jedi. So was it Kalo? Once again, I'm sorry I don't remember the names, but you guys can look it up. You guys probably know the names, but the main villain, pretty much Darth Vader wannabe 2.0. He's like Kalo or Kylo or something like that. He's trying to find him so he can take him out. So there's basically can be no more Jedi, nobody for the light side. And the villain, we find out that he is the son of Leia, and also Han Solo. So he basically is trying his best to stay, in the dark side and everything like that. Kylo Ren, or Kylo Ren, however you pronounce it. Sorry, but he still has the light within him, and he's fighting to become 100% dark. But like I said, Han Solo and Leia are his parents, so obviously there's good in him, and he's being trained by this giant Sith Lord guy. I forgot his name too. And also it seems like he was talking to Darth Vader, who was his grandfather, but you guys have probably seen the scene where he's like, please show me how to, the power of the dark side. You see, or he's like, I want to finish what you started, and you see Darth Vader's helmet and stuff. There's more of that scene. He's kind of talking to him, but you don't hear Darth really talk or anything like that. But they almost kind of imply that he's somehow still talking to him. But yeah. So basically, the main characters of this movie is Han Solo, Chewbacca, Poe was the name of the pilot. I couldn't think of his name earlier. Ray, Finn, and the droid. It's not R2D2, but he's pretty much like the equivalent. of him. He kind of rolls around that ball thing. He's a pretty cool character. But basically, the main plot, it's a lot like the fourth Star Wars movie. It's a lot like that, where they, you have like they call it the First Order instead of the Republic in this one, and then Kylo Ren is pretty much the equivalent of Darth Vader, and they go to their home base to try to destroy it, like they did in the fourth movie with the Death Star. And it was funny when they're in the rebellion fortress, or whatever you want to call it. They had a diagram to show how much bigger their fortress, the First Order's equivalent to the Death Star, is compared to the Death Star. It is way bigger. Like, it's like, wow, like they really stepped it up, but I'm not gonna spoil too much. But I mean, the main big spoiler, which people probably heard online, is that Kylo Ren, Han Solo's son, actually kills Han Solo, because the basically the Sith Lord person that's talking to him, because Kylo's freaking out, like, oh, I feel like I'm slipping and all this stuff, and he basically tells him the way to completely go to the dark side is you have to kill your father, and he ends up doing it. And like, it's a fucking crazy moment at the end of the movie. It was like, holy shit. Even though some of the movie actually was already spoiled for me, and that was one of the parts that was spoiled for me, it was still devastating just watching that, because I mean, obviously Han Solo has been one of the main characters of the core Star Wars movies, which is 4, 5, and 6. You know what I mean? Obviously, he wasn't in the prequels. Could have been, I guess, age-wise. Well, no, I guess he would have been pretty young, because Darth Vader's older than Han. But anywho, yeah, they kill him. Rey, who I'm pretty sure is Luke Skywalker's daughter, we find out that she has the power of the Force. So Luke isn't the last of the Jedi, at least not the last of the potential Jedi. And once Kylo Ren finds out that she can harness the power of the Force, he tries to persuade her to, join the dark side and try to train. But then they end up fighting at the end of the movie. First, Finn tries to fight him off, and he was holding his own for not being a Jedi. There was a couple fight scenes with him actually using Luke Skywalker's lightsaber, because they get it when they go to this one like dive bar. Kind of once again reminded me a lot of the fourth movie. They talk to this one lady about where they need to go, what they need to do, and then Rey actually is the one that finds Luke Skywalker's lightsaber, and then Finn ends up kind of having it through the rest of the movie to the end, where he damn near dies at the end of the movie, and then Rey and Kylo duke it out, which is kind of funny how she's able to go toe-to-toe with him and use her Force power so efficiently, when, to my knowledge, she's never been trained, unless she was trained by Luke as a kid and then just somehow forgot. I don't know, but she uses a Jedi mind trick on one of the stormtroopers when they capture her, and then she uses the Force a little bit in their fight. She uses it to actually get the lightsaber and stuff. And it's just, as far as her being able to use the lightsaber, I understand that, because she's really good with the staff. She's pretty much like a scavenger. She's kind of lives day by day by scavenging things in this desert planet that she lives on, and she trades in those goods that she finds for money so she can buy food and whatnot. So she knows how to hold her own with the weapon. But as far as her understanding how to use the Force and Jedi mind tricks, I'm like, okay, is it because she's Luke's daughter? Maybe she just has that much of the what's it called, the metal chondrian or whatever, you guys know what I'm talking about. Like, she just has so much Force in her naturally, because she's the granddaughter of Darth and the son of Luke, that she just can naturally use the Force in almost to the same level as somebody who's been trained a lot longer to use the Force. I just kind of felt that was a little bit of a cop-out, but overall, great fight scenes, great humor between Han Solo and Chewbacca, like very classic. The new characters, Finn and Rey, and Poe as well, were great. Leia, she wasn't in it as much as I would have thought, as much as I would have liked, but she was great. It was good to see all these characters back. R2-D2, 3CPO were in there as well, kind of more comic relief. They're probably going to play bigger parts in the next movie. We didn't get to see Luke until the very end, when they actually end up finding Luke by taking the virtual map that the new drone character had. I forgot his name. Sorry, but Poe's drone. He has a piece of the map of where Luke is, and the R2D2 actually has the rest of it. So they put that together, and they find where Luke is, and then at the last scene, you just see Rey holding Luke's lightsaber out, basically like here, like like we gotta get back into the swing of things, you know. And you just see Luke kind of just looking at her and stuff, and that's how it ends. But overall, I would give it a 9 out of 10. I know I kind of jumped around everything. I'm trying to go off of memory. It's been almost a week since I've seen it. Been busy, it's holiday week, but it's kind of wanted to get this out here. But yeah, man, it was overall a great movie. I like how they had a lot of their effects were you know, real props. They didn't overuse CG. They used CGI when it was necessary, you know. But it was really cool. Kylo Ren was a cool villain, but I feel like they made him seem a lot cooler in the beginning. And but yeah, like in the beginning of the movie, there's a part where I believe it was Poe goes to shoot him with a laser gun, and this dude stops the laser bullet in midair with the power of his force. Like, he's that quick that he's able to stop a laser midair. But I feel like towards the end of the movie, they kind of made it, which maybe they just kind of wanted to make him more of a personal character, and maybe wanted the people to relate to him more, how he's struggling to stay 100% with the dark side, and you know, this whole thing with his family, and this, that, and third. But I don't know, I feel like they kind of made him a little too just bitchy. Like, I don't know how else to say it, like just a little too like emo, I guess, like towards the end. But overall, he was a cool villain. But there's definitely been better villains in Star Wars. Really, honestly, probably all of them. Like, he's not a bad villain by villain standards, but he's probably one of the worser villains that Star Wars has had. But he was still cool. Like, you know, he could fight and everything like that. He was really good with the Force. But yeah, overall, great movie. Like I said, I'll give it a 9 out of 10. I'm kind of jumping around. I know it probably sounds like I don't like it that much, but it was a solid movie, and it's just great to see Star Wars back. And this is nowhere near as bad as the first, I would say, episode 1, episode 2. I thought 3 was actually a decent one, but overall, I'd say this is probably like top 3 Star Wars movies, top 4, something like that. Yeah, man, but go ahead and get up on out of here. Like I said, 9 out of 10. Make sure you guys go check out the website. I'll put the link in the description. Movie blog, movie review, action movie, comic book movie website is bcactionmr.com. The link will be in the description, so go check that out. And it's your boy Bobby W223. Peace out.